with how good assassination.
That is true.
Oh, dude, this is my tier.
Perma PI, perma AUG buffs.
Now you can blackmail him into doing whatever you want, even meowing.
Dude, you should see
before
my
he gets
DMs
it.
already. I'm going to get abused.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you like
Make it
DM
meow
me
before you-
meows. Yeah, exactly. Got some
Yeah,
bad
man, I
news.
think a lot of people
Yeah,
are gonna
meow.
do that.
Boogie
Yeah,
down.
Alrighty.
Hilarious tier piecing updated. Is now BM is ahead of Asa.
Yeah, BM's Giga goated, dude, but we're on different tier tokens anyway, so it doesn't matter.
At least it's not Dreadful token. We actually have like,
Still
no
exist.
Dreadful players in our roster. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nani?
Alright.
Yeah, we have both of our tanks on Dreadful.
Both our tanks, a Warlock, a DH,
DK.
oh,
And a D-
and a
yeah,
DK.
and a
Yeah.
DH.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's a lot of people.
Whereas like, no, well, if you look at the list of tokens, one of the tokens has like 13 people on it.
I don't know. You chose the wrong class. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a way to make this document dark mode?
Yeah, click on the sun on the right.
That's an Earth. What?
I don't know. I have a little thing on
What?
the side of the document
Where?
that I can click and it makes it dark mode.
You have a plugin. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't
fuck
have
you,
that.
fuck you.
Am I the only other guy looking for a sun and can't
Here you
find
go.
it?
Nope.
I guess I
Right
can.
here.
I guess I
You
can
see it?
stream.
Yeah, right here. This little on and off switch.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
We lost our.
Fuck did I get ice cream?
Someone boost us real quick. We lost our thing. I can't do 1080p.
Someone boost us.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. Okay.
Or boosted.
Thank you. Okay. Any 30 frames, I'm pretty sure is what I do. Let me know if you guys get like extreme lag and can't read or see anything.
Oh, I can't read English.
You and me both. If you guys, so you guys don't have edit access. I don't. I see. You guys can't click this, right? The collapse button, I assume. I don't think you can. Oh, you
Yeah,
can?
we can.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I don't want you to edit that. I don't think. Maybe I do. Haven't got that far yet. Okay, one sec. Let me link the. I never actually linked the healing doc I made.
Wait, which?
Just the Visario one. Just
If you can, make sure to link it in general so other people can see it, because I don't think the Mad Lads can see all the pigeon channels. Please and thank
I
you.
put it in general. Yeah, yeah, I did. I adhered in the general channel. Everyone should be able to see it. Here, I made this sheet. This is what healers. This is what we're gonna use when I ask us to plan things. And then Mad Lad, you guys will have your own healing thing, which I think you guys all have for this. You'll have your own sheet. I'm actually, yeah. Just going to restrict this for now, but I'll put the link in and then I'll open it up later when people forget. Oh, looks like shit. One sec. Alright. Okay. So, goal of tonight's meeting is just to do like a... This is my... Okay, so I made this TLDR sheet because if you've raided with me ever, you probably know I make stupid fucking callouts and I have no idea what anything's called. So I wrote it like that. Like, players get big fire circles. No idea what this ability is called. But I also don't really care. But that's just how I play the game. And so this is a really reference point for me. If you like this type of terminology, it can be a good reference point for you as well. But I also included under every single boss a bunch of resources that I use to pull this. Mythic Trap is obviously just the Mythic Trap website, which will actually tell you the name of the spells. Where's the big circles? Gotta be one on here, right? Whatever. I don't know what it's called. No, that's just AoE. This thing. So these are the big fire circles that I wrote down. So Mythic Trap can give you a good, like if you care that it's called Control Burn, because it's probably named something different on Bigwigs. Maybe it's the name. Maybe it'll be named the same. I have no idea. But that's how I'll remember it. It's just big circles. So this can be a really good raid tool. I put a ready check pull video. You'll notice that it's the same for every single boss right now, because at the time I made this doc, there was only Gnarl Root out for ready check pull. So I'll update these as we go. This is the GM of Consequence. He'll make a video for each fight, based on raid testing that they did. their takes are really good. They have really good insights in terms of prepping for Mythic Tracts. For example, this is how they think they're going to do the first boss on Mythic. They're going to put him in the corner, not in the middle, to get better spawns of the ads, because then they can't spawn all the way around him. His videos can tend to be a little long, and yeah, not really for a lot of people would be my guess. But if you're interested in shit like that, you can definitely watch it. I watch these. I put Liquid's video. They put a TLDR of every boss. So just a shortened form of this one. It really just goes over what a guide will go over. And then I also put a raid plan. So this raid plan is made by someone in the community. No idea who this person is. But they did one for every single boss. And so we'll sort of look at this along with the video when we go over every boss for tonight. So our goal is just to get just the understanding of just heroic. Normal, I don't really care, because generally it's just going to be one thing less. I don't know what the Mad Lads plan are, but for the Pigeons group, we're going to be going into heroic first until we hardwall, and then we'll go into normal after that. If Mad Lads, you may do the same, you may do opposite, I have no idea. But you should be prepped for both either way. So I'll just go over heroic, and then worst case you get to a fight, and you're like, wow, where's this mechanic on normal? Shouldn't there be big circles happening, for example, and they're not happening? Then it's just a normal mechanic, and they don't happen, and you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, as we go, if you guys know anything about these fights, do chime in. I am not the end-all be-all of all these fights by any means. I just watched a few different guides, whipped something together, and spat it out in ways I would understand it. So if you guys know specific things that your group should already be looking for, a raid should already be looking for, healer should be looking for, etc., etc. Just let me know as we go, and I can add it to the doc, make it very simple, make sure everyone understands. Okay, so this is just for all of us. We'll have a VOD of this as well when it's done. We'll just get this underway. Hopefully we can get this done like half an hour, maybe. I don't know. There's not 8 bosses. I guess I have to get to maybe 45 minutes, and we'll just pump through. Okay. So first boss, big tree guy, Gnarl Root. Super simple, per what the doc says. He spawns a bunch of. Let's just go here and watch this little video. He'll spawn a bunch of seedlings, like so. Okay, these seedlings have to be popped before going into intermission. If you go into intermission and they're not popped, I believe someone can correct me wrong. They all just come alive at once, and there'll just be way too many. They'll be out of control, and you'll just die. That's what I understand from it. Yep, they spawn like this if you leave in the middle of the room, which is great. And then the thing I call the big fire circles, you put them on seeds. One thing I noticed in one of the videos, and this is something I should probably add for most people, is on heroic at least, it does 150k per second for 6 seconds. So if this can go out on DPS and healers, it cannot go on tanks. So if you do get this, you should use your DR, right? So this is Fade, I don't know, Survival of the Fittest, or Survival Instincts, fucking Warrior Thing, Spell Reflect, all that probably affects this because it's going to be a magic damage. So watch your health, you take a lot of damage. Intermission, so you do that, right? You do this twice. Once you pop them all, you kill them. Once you pop them all, you kill them. You pad on them. Funnel is obviously number 1. It's the first boss. It probably doesn't really fucking matter. Then we go into intermission. Okay? Intermission is kind of cool. It'll light up the room. So, okay. So 2 things. One, you're going to split your group into 4 quadrants around the room. All right? So, which... not this one. Kind of like this, I guess. But I've detailed, I'll have marks up around the room for my group, and I have a healer in each group, plus a healer in one extra group. The tanks will be in one quadrant together, and then DPS will just be split into each group. The idea is very simple. You stack in puddles that spawn around, little puddles that spawn around the room. This consequence, that was his Team Liquid. Oh, by the way, the boss always runs to the middle of the room for this, so no matter where your group decides to tank the boss, he will always end up back in the middle. Okay? So these, you go into intermission, he's in the middle, he grows roots, right? Very simple. You stand in these fire roots, it gives you a stack of 5. It gives you a debuff with 5 stacks. When you walk and just physically touch your character model to a piece of root, it will turn glowy red. Alright, so these guys will all get a buff. Boom. They will run and touch a branch, and now it's on fire. So as a raid, you have to light all your branches on fire to get the boss to spawn. While this is going on, there will be continuous drops of these small puddles coming out. Okay? These cannot, under any circumstance, hit the ground. Okay? I don't know what it does. I've just been told it kills you. Is it an immediate wipe if one hits? Maybe not. Don't know.
On testing, it
damage
did
and
no
cover.
damage.
Oh, well, that's probably
Cover
wrong.
impacts, though.
However it works, just don't let them hit the ground. We'll figure out. I'm sure we won't do this right anyway. So we'll figure it out early and often. But this is all you do, right? You light everything on fire. You see, like, this is 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. Once you drop your debuff here, so this guy's going to drop his debuff, you can go and get another stack. Don't let them hit the ground. Burst into damage, maybe. I don't know. That's it. And that's just it. Right after this part right here, you have a, I wrote it on the plan as well. Damage, I think it's 100% damage increase on the boss for 20 seconds. So that's where we're going to hero, probably the first one. You normally, well, you can time this phase as a group if you want, right? So this is going to be kind of a, hopefully it's a fall over easy boss, but it could be a Cancer Fight where you're holding damage or you're staying longer in intermission, so DPS CDs come up. But it sounds like you're going to hit this point at about 2 minutes. That'll be the goal for groups. So you'll pop out your 2 minutes pot with hero, and you'll just blow the first boss up. Consequence was able to only do 1 intermission and then kill the boss before second. On PTR, that's right here. They just beat it. Worst case, you do 2 intermissions. It's not that difficult of a boss. You move on. Okay? Tanks, there's a taunt swap. You have your Dreadfire Barrage. You put a DR on this. And healers, this is kind of like a, what's the dog? Magmarax, right? It's a ramping dot throughout the entire fight. So DPS, big fire circles. You have to spot heal them along with keeping the raid alive, and they should be using DRs to help you, especially later in the fight. Okay? Anyone have any questions on Fire Root guy? No? Okay, cool. We'll go next. You guys come up with a question?
One thing is, so this is probably more for Jelly. Have you looked at this one at all?
Yeah. What?
Is it, since you're gonna be on DK, do you know, is there a time that you're not gonna be able to Death Strike?
There's no time that he won't be able to Death Strike, I believe.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
the only time is the intermission, and the intermission damage to a tank's
Yeah.
health pool is not that big a deal.
All right, perfect. I'm just trying to
Yeah, because the
find out a
ads,
couple things.
like the off tank goes and picks up the ads, especially in Mythic, because there's like some big ads that spawn and shit. But
Yeah, the 2
if we're
trends.
doing it right, they're all spawning pretty close to it.
Yeah, so I think our plan is to go with the consequence plan of this. I can throw, there's another raid plan down here. And we'll do this even on heroic, just to see if it works probably. And we're just gonna fucking pull him into the corner, and then just see how it feels.
PTR testing.
I'm thinking that since he runs to the middle for the intermission, that you just get a little bit, that much more DPS uptime.
Yeah, so it does give you more. It gives you more DPS uptime for him going to the middle. Yeah, free milk. And it just keeps lines closer together. So the way this is done for tanks as well, we'll just watch it real quick on this video in case the other group wants to do it too.
We're gonna hold him the corner. The tanks are gonna stand him for the intermission.
For intermission, he automatically runs to the middle.
Yeah, but is the like say that quadrant there, is that gonna be the tank quadrant for the intermission? Or
Yeah, we can just, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we can put tanks wherever. It doesn't really matter where tanks stand. I don't even, like, I don't know how many circles spawn around if they're equal. But the main thing I wanted for tanks is this right here. So all the seeds that spawned, you'll notice that the bosses kind of moved off from the seeds. So people just got to move early. You'll space around yourselves. This is heroic, so it really shouldn't matter. You should DR this. Obviously did a lot of damage. Don't know if that was the boss or whatever.
This is Mythic testing that you're watching.
Oh, this is Mythic? Okay.
Yeah, because there's big ads.
Oh, big ads. And these are what have to be interrupted, but you kind of just ignore them. But the main thing I'm showing is that these spawn poo-poo on the ground, and that we have to move the boss. It's like, the boss can't be right here, right, for next seed spawn, because that would be really bad. So they move the boss ahead of these puddles for next seed spawn. So they'll bring these in, they'll burn these down, I believe. And then I think, yeah, so the boss will spawn seeds here, and so some went in the bad, so someone's going to have to pop those in the bad, but the rest are okay. That make sense?
Move further.
From
Yeah.
what we're
Cheese.
seeing
Yeah.
what they're saying on testing is that the impact hurts a lot, but I think standing in that fire pool there actually does almost no damage unless they change the tuning a lot on live. So it's like somebody running out there real quick to get that's not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, so something to keep in mind. Sorry, someone had a question for me. I'll just try one more thing and then you can ask your question. You look at this and you'll be like, wow, they're like completely fucked. You only do this twice before every intermission phase, right? So they do once and then you move and then you do twice and then you're done. You just stand here and then the boss will eventually time into intermission and run to the middle and you just get free milk. As soon as he hits intermission, I believe all the bad goes away. We'll see right here.
Yeah, correct.
Boom, and then you just walk to middle. Key thing is, all these ads spawned here as well. I don't know if these are leftover because they missed them, or maybe some just spawn ready to see transitions. Not sure which is true. But the awkward part is these have to die before you kind of spread out around the room, right? And so this is where you have to Giga Nuke these ads. And we don't really get to see it, but it's important that these ads die before we separate. You'll see how their rate is slowly moving. Does that make sense to everyone? And that's it. Okay.
So, one note on the fire puddles. When he summons new ads, like those new lines,
Yeah.
if those circles are in an already existing fire puddle, on PTR it just auto popped the ads.
Oh,
They
interesting.
just came up by themselves.
Oh, that would be nice.
So, the only it could be an issue if they all spawn in that, because every time an ad pops, it does burst damage to the entire raid. So if you let them all pop at once, it's a lot of damage on Mythic at least.
Well, I believe
see
the
how
goal.
the entire raid took damage right there.
Yeah, I believe the
Because
goal
of
is to
the
hit all of them at once, though. Now, but you're saying like if they left the boss here, then and they all spawned here and they all popped again, and you didn't have a D already, it would hurt.
It could be bad, but
Yeah.
like if you keep watching it when he does the next fire lines, you'll see some in the back left.
Yeah, these ones here.
Those should auto pop.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they did. You're right. That's good. I mean, that makes the fight, in my opinion, actually easier if that's the case.
Yeah, it's a super easy fight. It's just
And they missed, so they did miss some, right? So they missed at least one egg there. I can't really see any of the others. I just see this one.
so as soon as he enters,
It's
as
fight.
many as it takes.
Yeah, I don't know if there is an enrage. It's quite a long one if there is, if I'm not
It's
mistaken.
timing based. It's not percent based. Toda.
Is
the
it-
intermission?
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's 100% timing.
It's an energy.
You get
based.
two ad lines, right? And then you intermission. 2 ad lines and you intermission.
So
And
is it like
So
2 minutes?
2, 4, 6 is generally
Okay.
the goal for timings, if that makes sense.
So that
The only way
timing
you can
depends on
manipulate
how,
this fight is how fast your intermission is.
how fast you clear lines.
Yeah. So if you clear lines giga fast in intermission, then you're ahead.
Yeah.
If you clear them slow, then you can save time and you'll be behind. That's it. That's the only manipulator of the fight. So they cleared this pretty quick. I think they cleared on 2. So that was the first set. That's the second set of circles. And he's done. Okay. It looks like 1 hit, and you're right. It did like no damage on Mythic. So who knows if that's been fixed or not. I imagine it would be, or else you just have a fucking Warlock never getting any circle and just blasting.
Yeah, because they spawn way the fuck out there. on
on
test.
Yeah.
On
They're
Mythic,
like-
on Mythic it does 800k, or sorry, 80,000. So it does nothing on Mythic right
That's,
now.
yep.
Yeah, but doesn't it apply a dot when you have
The dot does
debuff on you?
160k to people who stand on it.
Yeah, but if it pops and it applies to everybody, that's mega bad.
The dot is only standing inside of the. It pops for 80k to everybody within 20 yards.
But it doesn't apply the dot. Like if
Oh
you
yeah,
miss?
yes, you're right. Look for one every 1 second for 6 seconds. So 6 and 8's what?
You just playing healing cooldowns, right? If that's the case, right? Because here you just have a Fear of Burn phase. There's no other mechanics happening. So like they have a dot here, right? They got this dot.
Yeah,
That's
but
this thing right here. So
if you miss and that applies to like everybody in the raid, because like you're just like grouping up for the end of the phase and you miss one, like that's mega bad, right?
yeah, well they missed 1 here and they seem completely fine. But that's all I can base it off of.
Yeah, it's a
So
total of 400k damage ish over 6 seconds. That's like nothing.
now if you miss all 6 of them and it's a stacking debuff, it probably gets pretty gross. But you should just pick them up, right? And like that'll be the goal, right? So hunters and everything that's has a lot of movement. But if you're a melee player with no movement, right, you're an in-hand shaman, you're not running to the back of X to get it. people just have to play better. So that's why, I mean, our groups are split around that, evenly split. So all that's already pre-planned, so we're good. All right. Perfect. Next boss. Something the Cruel.
Yugila?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. You could be right. Okay, so this boss is kind of simple. Let's go to my raid plan. Okay, so one boss. What is this? Okay, fuck you. I just want to see this. Okay, so there's 3 main portions of this fight. Okay, there's each one of these give the boss an ability. Okay, and you'll absorb a little circle to give the boss the ability. I believe I wrote that we do Healing Absorb on the right, into Soak on the left, into Leap at the back. Okay? So, pretty simple. When the boss does certain mechanics, it'll put a Healing Absorb on the raid and such. Let's see if we can show it. So this circle, the boss will eventually mark Torment, and you all stack in which one you want it to choose. Technically, I don't think you all have to stack, but we'll just make everyone stack. It's a certain amount of damage that's split. Whatever. You just all stack. Now the boss has chosen this, right? So on the left it was, I don't even remember what it was, a Meteor Soak. So I believe this is like the Tank Soak on Amalgamation. There'll be a meteor that spawns and you all have to stack in it. I don't even know if we'll see it. Fuck is this?
Just like the Rashok one where it's like right in front of him.
Yeah. Oh, Rashok. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Or the fire
Split
add-on.
the group in half because you get a debuff from soaking it.
Yeah, so there's a weak, I believe there's a weak core for that already. And I already have that set up, but I do have group set up. You can really just do odds or evens if I didn't. This Healing Absorb, I believe a Healing Absorb just comes out.
On a few players. It's not everyone, but it's a
Yeah, so you have to heal it off.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, and the last one is a jump, so it's very simple. Now, there will be min-max where it leaps the second farthest player, right? So what that means, if all of us were in melee, and a hunter was on purple and the hunter was on this point, it would hop to the hunter on the point. And if everyone was under the boss. It just help with uptime. After he jumps, he doesn't see circles. So we'll play with that however it works. On Mythic, it's different. You get 2 mechanics. Don't even worry about that right now. But you'll do 2 at the same time. So you'll do Heal Absorb and Leap at the same time, or Meteor and Heal Absorb at the same time, etc. So the fight becomes longer. I don't know any timings on this fight in terms of like how long does this fight take. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, it looks like you also have to. Oh yeah. So just spread out circles, right? So like I didn't add stuff like this because this is pretty fucking obvious, right? Don't stack your circles. And then don't hit these orbs, right? Same as Amalgamation, except smaller orbs that are way easier to see, thank Christ. That's kind of it. And here's the group soap on the tank. Looks exactly like Rashok. So, right, these people who don't are out. Everyone else should be in the soak. And playing super safe. Make sense?
Cheese, in the IGRA channel, I put from Mythic Testing the order. It's the sword, then the soaks, sword, then he always alternates between one of the like pools, does one sword in between, so you don't really have to do the spear mechanic much unless they change
there you
the
go.
timings.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll know by Monday, right? For sure, already, what the plan is for that. For us, I don't know about for you guys. Maybe you'll do it Thursday, but then we'll learn off you, Pog.
I'm sorry, like for Mythic. Like we'll see the Mythic.
We'll probably see it Monday if it goes based on what we did the same last year. But we'll, yeah, all that will be killed by Monday by other guilds. So, yeah, we'll see. But that's it. This boss is super simple. Just don't stand in things, or do stand in things if it's the tank soak. Right? That's it. Just run to where you're told, and the fight's dead. Easy fight. Perfect. Any questions on this guy? Fuck that. Cool. All right. Ball across. God, I don't remember what any of these bosses look like yet. Big fire dude, I guess.
Fireworm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Volacross.
Taros 2.0.
Yeah, so Taros 2.0. Yeah, pretty much. The whole thing is you'll split your group in 2, and you'll walk around the one. You'll split, like, there'll be a left group and a right group. Left group will go left, right group will go right. And you just soak circles as you go around. Like, very, very simple. I'll just show you with this. This will be, like, you don't need to see too much about it here. Read what damage, don't care. The fuck is this? I don't even know what this is.
That's the soak. It's just there's not a soak on heroic. It's only on mythic.
Oh, is that a mythic mechanic? I didn't think I was on mythic here.
It's that circle.
Yeah.
The circle's a regular mechanic.
Yeah.
It goes out
Oh, okay.
in all difficulties, but on mythic it turns into a soak at the end of it.
Projectiles are
You
dodged.
still have to spread those out.
Don't
on
get hit.
normal and heroic.
Okay, gotcha. Don't get hit by the shadow. Don't get hit by waves. Where's my big soak mechanic? This one? This one right here. Yeah, Flood of the Firelands. Okay, so this will soak as we go, and if I'm not mistaken, once you're split, there'll be 2 that spawn, right? On 2 different players?
Yeah, they're pre-placed. They just continue around.
Yeah, we can't really see it.
At 100
here.
energy it comes out, yeah.
Yeah. Let's look at this. Oh, this is Gnarl Root. Fuck's sake, baited myself. And there was a weak ore that I was looking at with Zad that we haven't decided, or not a weak ore, there's an add-on that will automatically split your group and tell you what to do. The key is you have to get everyone to use, so this is it right here, I believe. Is it going to show us? Boom. Right? So you have 1 in range, 1 in melee. You just have melee soak this, range soak this. Generally it's easy, but you could technically have 2 melee get it, right? Then you have to split. Don't know if this brings value for us to get the add-on, but that's really the whole fight. Like, just don't get hit by things, and then soak this 1 circle. And that's it. And you'll all soak this too. Okay. You have any questions on this one? The whole, like, what's in range? However long it takes you to get across the whole room, I guess. There's no real min-maxing, I believe. Just walk in a circle. Okay.
You eventually run out of space because, as you can see, the fire is growing.
Yeah, I don't think you can min-max it at all, though. I'm not, like, I don't.
No, because all those circles are pre-placed.
Yeah. So that's it. Anyone got questions for this one? It's really just like looking at your feet. You don't even need to look at the boss, because the boss just never moves. So you can just like hit your buttons and
Just don't ride the wave.
whatever. Yeah, don't ride the wave. Don't be green curd.
Okay.
You earn the wave rider,
Catching
So
strays.
and it's just splitting. So yeah, that's it. Super simple. Like nothing to this boss, unless it's a crazy DPS check. It'll just fall over. All right. The first is Karm's here. Okay, Karm, you need to listen to this because it's going to be you and me. Okay. The first hard boss of the fight of the raid, in my opinion, will be this fight, Council of Dreams. It's a council fight. There's 3 different bosses. I'm going to explain this so poorly. I can't wait for this. They each do a special ability. Okay, that can be interrupted.
I already know about all that.
Okay, perfect. So, well, this is for everyone else. They each do a special ability. You have to interrupt the special ability. The way you interrupt the special ability is by using another boss's ability to interrupt that ability. Okay? Who knows if that made any fucking sense? So, okay. So there's a bear, and there's this guy who turns you into a duck, and there's Arwen who, I don't even remember Arwen does it this very... Oh, the master. Yeah, you're right. So, the bear does a line mechanic that you don't stand in. Okay, so when the bear does a charge, you don't stand in it. Very simple. Oh no, sorry. You do stand into it. You stack a 50-50. I was wrong. So you do stand in it, but you'll split your group, right? 50% once, 50% twice. Do not stack back to back. You die. The bear's charge interrupts Arwen. Okay. Ducks stop bear and rage. This will be Karm and me. I don't for whatever the Mad Lads are doing. I'm not sure. But the ducks are chosen randomly when they first come out, and then I gotta show you the duck mechanic. You just won't get it if you don't see it. Okay, so this is the main portion of the fight when you get to it. Okay, these random things. These little mushrooms grow, okay? We all see these little green things grow. They're green mushrooms. Okay? So green mushrooms grow. Oh, on Mythic, you'll get 2 mechanics at once. You don't get it on Heroic. They're doing it on Mythic, so you'll see overlaps if you're looking really closely. Do not worry about overlaps. All right. Polymorph Bomb comes out, okay? This means this guy is now a duck. Okay, what do you do if you're a duck, right? That's really the main thing. Like, you quack, yeah. What do I do when I'm a duck, and how do I not be a duck anymore? Because I don't want to be a duck. Okay, so the way you not be a duck is you go and you start eating the green mushrooms. After you eat, I believe it's 3. You'll know because you'll know based on your action bar. I'll show you in a second. You can then turn back into being a normal player. Okay? If you turn back as a normal player and no one is in your circle, you're just a normal player and the circle goes away. All right? Make sense? But we actually need people to become ducks so that we have enough ducks to soak enough of the green puddles. Okay? So this guy eats his 3 green puddles. 1, 2, 3. And he'll come on this hunter and turn the hunter into a duck. Alright, so now you'll see he has a little action bar. 1 and 2. 2 is how you become not duck. And I think 1 is just a speed burst. I actually have no idea what 1 does at all. I assume it's just movement speed. Yeah. So the way you play this is it looks like they spawns in packs of 3. I don't know how accurate that is. Maybe there's 1 actually, but there's some behind this boss maybe. Is there 5 there? Or is it 3, 4, 5? Not sure. Anywho, so this guy will go, and I think you can... Okay. So this guy's a duck. Does he skip ahead? Okay, yeah, he's going to pick up 3 in the middle. He'll pick all these. 1, 2, 3. Now he can be... He missed one. Not duck. But he has to wait. He's waiting as a hunter. This will be Carmine, really. But if you ever get this and you need to be called upon, he's waiting for the bear to cast his spell. I think. Yes. This thing right here. Blinding Rage. And he will not duck on top of the bear, not on top of anyone else, and stop the enrage. Got it? Super simple.
Do you know
And
if we
then
have to
the bear
interrupt that
became a
during the
duck.
cast or after it finishes?
During the cast. During a cast. Yeah, you can. As soon as it happens, you can technically interrupt it. You don't really have to wait. But it's a during the cast interrupt. So you're like, okay, so then why don't we just clear all the green, right? That'll make it really easy, and then we'll have none left. Well, of course, you can't do that because Arwen's cast, that bitch, when she cast, I think, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, that's the one you stand on the mushrooms, right?
It's the other one.
Correct.
Oh, it's Pit?
I'm
pretty sure it's
when the
Sword,
fairy
isn't it?
cast. The fairy cast the
Fairy-
shield.
Yeah. It's a disorient, mass disorient from the little fairy dragon.
It's called like something shield or something pod. Everyone gets a shield and they have to damage themselves in the green.
Let's find it here. They do show it.
It's the
Bum, bum,
last
bum.
organic.
Did we miss it? Did I miss it?
I think it's right there.
Yeah, it should have happened by now. That's it. That was it. The song that she was channeling in the middle.
This thing?
You need to go back like another 20 seconds, or 15 seconds.
But you don't stand in the thing. You stand in the
You gotta
shroom
go
for
back A
that?
little bit more. You got to go back a little more.
Some of them have.
That
Some of them
shield.
Yeah, they're standing in the one but under the
So
bear.
keep going about another 5 seconds. So she's getting ready to start it, and then see how she's
yeah.
casting. Everyone's gonna run in. And
Into that small
So this
Okay,
is,
so that
I think this is the debuff you get. And then when you stand in the green thing,
takes like 2 seconds. You
Your
go in,
debuff
take
will go
2 ticks,
away.
and you're gone.
I believe. You're not going to get this overlap because this is a mythic thing. His debuff should fall, and once your debuff falls, you run into the mushroom. Okay, so that's from Dragon Fairy Guy. That's why you have to leave one up. So we'll always try and leave one up in the middle. It sounds like that'll be like a super safe strat. And that's kind of it. And then the bear charge interrupts this vine pull. Okay, so if you get picked, does this pick yeah, it does. It picks a player. I don't know if that's a tank or not. I can't fucking read that.
Pretty sure it charges whatever tank.
It charges tank? Okay, yeah. So tank just has to point it towards here.
Make sure no one's in the front. So
Yeah.
you can break 'em.
Well, you'll put 50% in the front, right? You have to soak it, and then it breaks it, and then this vine pull mechanic is down. One last thing to add. This fight does not share health pools. All right, this bear has more health than the other two. The other two cannot be tanked, and they just jump around and shit. I'm sure of it. So you will most likely cleave off the bear and then switch to something else and then switch to something else. I don't remember the boss in Spulcher where if you killed one and you didn't kill the others in time, it revived. Can't think of it. I know it does. I know that happens.
20-second cast.
Yeah. I can't remember. You remember the one where there was 4 of them or whatever? Or yeah, Prototype Pantheon. Yeah, that stupid thing. The same thing's going to happen with this one.
It's also fair to note that the bear has twice as much health as the other two, so passive cleave will be the king unless the bear.
I heard
counts
it
towards them,
was-
then you can cleave.
I heard maybe it is double. I heard it was 1.6.
Bear has like 300 mil, and the other two have like 150 on testing.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
like 70% more.
Yeah, I thought.
So like at some point you can just tell DPS to like tunnel one of the ads, but like you have to be careful about cleaving from the start because there's a high chance you kill one of them early.
Yeah.
It happened to us testing multiple times.
So in heroic, this will be fairly simple for us to learn, I think, because you don't get any overlaps. When we get to mythic, it's going to be gross, I think. We'll see. Maybe it'll feel better than I can explain it, and that could be true. But
It's just chaos the first couple pulls.
yeah, and heroic it should be safe. So if you get a duck, you eat 3 mushrooms and you give it to a hunter, and then a hunter will eat 3 mushrooms and then either interrupt the bear. If this cast isn't going to be going up, you just turn back into a human, right? As long as everything. And then at that point, we'll sort of figure out, okay, do we need to manage another person picking up a duck because we need more mushrooms cleared, right? That's something we'll figure it out. You don't get a debuff, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, from turning into a duck. So you can just turn into a duck again after you're a duck. It's like, I can be a duck, give it to Karm, he can go through 3, and then bring it back to me, and I can go duck again, for example. No debuffs to, like, you can't duck for 4 minutes or something. God, that would be horrendous. But that's it. Ursulk does a frontal cone, don't stand in front of the boss of the bear. Healers, I just put, let's find tough points. It seems like this is a very flowy fight. Yeah, and it looks like there's a cleanse, and when it's cleansed, something happens, if I remember correctly. Does damage, maybe, or something? I can't remember. And so they have to be away from people. So
It's not crazy. They just
interrupt with
top it.
duck,
It's,
interrupt with
400
charge,
whenever you
stand in flow.
cleanse it does 400k within 10 yards.
Yeah, so this thing here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dispel the poison. So just make sure.
Mythic it's about 400k. I don't think it has.
So we'll probably just have a healer just control dispels and call for dispels for this one.
Yeah.
Probably be the plan. Because it's knowing my UI, not gonna fucking work.
It'll be similar to Oganoth, I think.
Yeah. So that's kind of it. So this is a super confusing one. Don't think about it too much. Just think of bear does straight line mechanic, interrupts Arwen. I pick up 3 puddles if I'm a duck and I give it to a assigned player with a mark on their head. Make sure there's 1 mushroom up for when the debuff comes out so you can cleanse under it. That's kind of it.
Next boss, like in the order, or be like going up a wing all the way, or like
I don't really.
Bosses.
I think
Volcaros and this council boss are at the same like position of difficulty.
Yeah.
The next 2 bosses are like the quote unquote end of wing bosses. So you probably do this one first on Mythic.
Volcross should be easier than Council though.
Yeah,
so
Volcaros and then here. My
yeah, that's right. So Volcross is, these 3 are significantly easier than Council. Council will be the first like just mechanically dumb boss. I don't even, maybe it won't even be that heavy of a DPS check. I just think it's gonna be dumb. And then we're on to Laradar. Okay, good. Anyone have you're probably gonna have questions, boss. If you have questions, ask me after, and I'll sit down. We can literally watch a VOD together. But that fight can be confusing as fuck, so don't feel bad if you're like, I'm fucking lost and I have no idea what's going on. Alright, another fight for me, Karm. Well, actually, there's a lot of people who have to do stuff on this fight. So it's not even just Karm and I. Okay, so big fire guy. Here we go. So, super simple, kind of-ish. So, every time this guy does pretty much anything, he's going to spawn this poop, okay? And this poop, you have a big circle room, and there's some good spots, and this guy will spawn poop and make it more bad spots, okay? Pretty simple. Tree spawn, kill trees, right? When the tree dies, it can then be healed, right? Healers, you have to heal the tree. Super simple. We attack tree, DPS interrupt and kill. Tree dies, tree can now be healed. When the tree is healed, it will then go and give its juice to this seed in the middle, okay? And this little percent bar will go up. Okay, very important. And then what you'll do is you can right click on this. This will be like an action button or whatever. And when you right click on this, you'll get sort of a frontal hose mechanic. Come on, this guy's a hunter. He's got to do it. Where is it?
So Super Mario Sunshine?
Yeah, I just kind of want to show it. Maybe it'll be on Mythic Trap. Let's see. Adds to here. Here we go. Dream Blossom. So you see this little fucking dude, how he's frontal coning some green shit and pushing away the poop, right?
It's Lysol.
Yeah, it's like Lysol. Yeah, it's like COVID. You're just trying to get rid of it, okay? So you just try and get rid of it. So the way we actually have this set up for us is... There's going to be different groups for this boss, okay? So there'll be different marks around the room. Okay, this is for CCs. We don't worry about this. Don't worry about that right now. There's a spray team, okay? There'll be a close, middle, and far person who will be spraying, and that I think is based on close would be the middle. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe we'll figure that out when we get in there. Maybe that's more up to date.
It should be mythic only that you have to do the 3-chain thing.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Normal and heroic, you just have one person take it, and they can do all of it on their own.
Interesting, yeah. So that works out then. But I guess I have these set up for pre-mythic then, or whatever. So we can figure that out, I guess, when we get to mythic, which is a long way away. So if one person can do it, that takes a lot of the hassle off. But you pretty much just go and you spray your juice everywhere and get rid of all the bad stuff, right? And then you'll suck off the seed, and the seed will lose its percentages, and then it'll hit 0, and then you will have no more juice, and you need to rinse and repeat. Okay? There are points here where I think this fight is so confusing. So this root will spawn. I don't know why it has a healing bar on it.
It chases
you
somebody.
you have to spray it in order to make it attackable.
So
Okay.
when it goes on someone, it roots them. I'm trying to remember the boss. I think this was Cenarius from Emerald Nightmare. Same exact concept. And then once they're grabbed, that person is CC'd, and then you can hose them down to kill the root.
And then, so the boss has a big AoE, and it spawns this barrier, and then you'll want to stand in this barrier for the big AoE, which is right here, Raging Inferno. This Raging Inferno is when the boss will have an energy bar, it hits 100%. You have to be standing in this or your group just dies. Very, very simple. So you'll have to time the healing of this, or the whatever of this root. It looks like it's rooting and dealing damage to players it reaches. It also leaves fire in its path. Kill it quickly, then heal it. So you have to kill it and then heal it. It will create a barrier. So you have to time the healing of it for right before the Inferno cast. It does not say how long it sits on the ground for. You'll notice that here.
Yeah, you'll kill it.
What?
And then
The seed stays up forever? There's no way.
It probably stays up until the Inferno.
Oh, you think? You think it's that free of a mechanic? Oh, that'd be nice.
On testing, that's how it works.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, seed stays until P2.
You will need alternating groups on heroic because you get dream fatigue on heroic as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. So what he means by groups is just really players. If one player can do it. So after you spray your load, you cannot spray your load again. You're out of gas. So you need to someone else will have to go and just continue to clear the poop. Okay, that's P1, right? It's just think of it very simple. You kill ads and then you heal ads, and then one person grabs the thing and goes around and sprays a bunch of bad stuff, and right before 100 energy, you stand in the big green thing. That's it. I don't think it's overly complicated. Don't think about like which part of the room do we have to clear. Like this isn't like Skarn, thank God, or anything like that. We just do that. The boss does have a charge mechanic, Furious Charge. So for tanks, you'll want to make sure you make him charge where there's already poop, because he will spawn poop with his charge. And from what I understand, this stuff does not do very much damage. Like this guy just runs in and whatever, doesn't care, I guess. So that'll be it. And then I think this is, orbs spawn around the boss. Okay, this is like a melee mechanic. God, we don't see many of those anymore. Just don't let it hit the boss. That's all you have to do. And you actually get a damage buff. Can't remember. I think it's crit.
Yeah, you get a big crit buff.
Yeah, 20% crit buff. There you go for 10 seconds. So if you're a greedy range player, I guess you can go for them too, but there is a reason to pick them up. Anyone can pick them up. I don't care. Pick them up. If you don't pick it up, then I'll just start making tanks pick them up, and then you'll be mad that you're not able to parse. Right? Then you're into P2. That's all of P1. Woohoo, we did P1. Super, super simple. I don't think it's that difficult of a boss. What the fuck is this? Oh, this is just intermission. Okay, just heal intermission. Didn't even know this was a thing. Heal and survive. Go healers. Okay. P2 is where you no longer get to touch the seed anymore in the middle. So you can no longer clear any more poop. Okay? So your soft enrage or hard enrage, however you look at it, is the room will eventually fill up completely of poop. So you soak orbs, right? 1 player per orb. I assume you can stick multiple players in it, but you'll just get multiple debuffs, which is probably bad. Ads will spawn. Is this not a mythic mechanic, these ads? Or is that not true? Actually don't know.
They're on the ads are on all difficulties.
They are on all difficulties. Okay, so I did set up an ad CC here, which we could technically do with our comp, because we have 6 roots and 2 frost traps. We'll have to see how much health they have in our first pull and decide if that's needed. We do also have 2 or 3 boomkins, so we could also just use Starfall and looks like AoE them down. But pretty much they're going to walk towards the middle and they will spawn stuff as they go. They can be CC'd. You either CC them or you kill them. Those are your 2 options.
And also, like, when you P2 is a percent-based start, so you can like make sure the room is cleaner. Like in that video, like that's a pretty bad.
Yeah.
At least from testing I saw, that's pretty bad rooms management. So.
And you could also then, if it's phased on based on percent, guess what you're doing? You're holding 4 CDs, baby. So.
Well, it's percent based, but I think you either get max 2 walls to hide behind of his max energy mechanics, or I think it's 3 before he force changes.
Oh, so there is a force change. Okay.
But you probably won't run into that except on Mythic.
Yeah, that'll probably be more of a Mythic thing.
Week 1 maybe. Week 1 Heroic maybe you won't have the DPS to put
Yeah.
together, but yeah, everything else.
Yeah, but to make it simple, you'll probably end up CCing these, right? At least the first set. I don't know how many of these sets even
if you
spawn.
hate your boomkins, you'll CC them and won't let them cleave.
Say less. Boomkins aren't real.
We do hate our boomkins. That's true.
Oh, I see why you switched now, Ida.
Everybody hates kinetics.
Yeah, true. So it looks like this thing, it just says move away and heal through. Alright. Players encased in Ash are stunned for 20 seconds. So if healers don't heal you enough, then you're stunned. And unlucky. Ramping dot damage on this guy's UI. This will make you take more damage. This is where, obviously, healers as well, we should be assigning healing CDs and figuring out this will all come down to timings for all groups, so it's going to be really difficult to do. I can try and manage it on the fly for our first few pulls, but depending how much it is, that could be bad.
We'll have healer sheets going into it.
Okay, cool. Well, I know some of it is like flex, right? Like it really depends on flow of the fight. And,
yeah. But we'll have something to start off of.
Yeah, so this is very important, okay? The tank that gets hit with this tank mechanic cannot be healed, alright? Remember, what's the fight I'm thinking of? Big blue guy in the middle, you split your raid groups, and you all, like, stacked in a circle to heal each other.
Hungering Destroyer.
Hungering Destroyer, yes. That is what this tank gets, alright? He gets the circle from Hungering Destroyer, he cannot heal, and then he will go and suck off everyone else to heal, pretty much, because I think this is a dot. Yeah, it is a dot. So you'll probably DR this going in, then you'll go stand in the group, and the group will heal you, and the healers will heal the raid group, which will then heal you. Okay, that's how you stay alive. Don't get hit by fire tornadoes. Soft and rage. Right, so it's a ramping dot damage right here, and then the room will fill up with bad, and you just eventually die. Okay. So overall, I actually don't think this is too bad. You might still get those fire orbs in this phase. I know it didn't say you did. But for some reason, I have a feeling you do, but I could be wrong. Oh, no, these are small orbs around the room. I could be wrong on that. But pretty simple. So, like, TLDR of that, again, kill trees, interrupt and kill trees, heal trees once they're dead and they go green, right? We'll have alternating people spraying their seed to get rid of the poop around the room. Kill the roots that are following someone. Once the roots are dead, you heal them again. Healers pop it. Sounds like whenever. We'll figure that out. If we need to time them or not. Like that prototype again where you had to time. Remember, we had to time certain things in prototype with healing. That will spawn green. Stand in green. Go into intermission. Healers just heal you through intermission. P2 is just a race. CC trees based on your raid assignment, most likely. I could assign blinds too, actually. Forgot about that spell. And then soak small orbs, heal the tank, dodge the tornadoes. Cool. Anyone have any questions or anything on this guy?
One thing, I'm sure healers already know about it, but when the trees, after you've healed them and they're putting their juice in the seed, they start taking more and more and more damage. So like you don't want to giga dump your mana into keeping them alive. Like eventually it's just unhealable.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, there'll be a point where it's like, don't heal that anymore, right? It's like blatantly obvious. It's not, don't go healing one tree.
Do we know if those show up on boss frames?
Nope.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
there you go.
they're supposedly raid.
Yeah, it looks like they did based on this guy's video.
Just wanna make sure we
Fuck, where
get
is it?
numbers and stuff.
Sounds like pop innervate and do healing parses. What it sounds like to me.
Single target healing.
He's not a healer, so it doesn't show. I did see a healer VOD of this, and they were showing up on the
Yeah, no, they do.
thing. So it's not just
Even if
like
they didn't on PTR necessarily, but other people have confirmed that they will.
perfect. So I think this will be a fun fight. Question, yeah?
Probably be the same as like Kill Jaden, the clones that you had to heal. I'm sure they'll show up.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully they do show up. It's always frustrating if they don't.
Seeds from prototype.
Bunch of these. Okay. Alright. Next video. I know we're taking up so much time. I'm sorry. I'm trying to rush through. Don't know how to pronounce this one either.
Healer boss.
Yeah, so this is the fight I hated and never killed in Season 4 of Reclear. It is...
The sausage.
The sausage, yes. So lines will grow on the ground. If you cross a line, it puts a dot on you. If you start crossing multiple lines, you get a stacking dot, and you just die, okay? Because you have too much dot ticking damage. These lines will... Oh, these are just moving lines. Don't get hit by that.
Yeah,
that's
they just
brain dead.
go out randomly.
Yeah. Small soak, so there'll be green puddles that spawn around the room. Like green grass patches. You just put someone in it and soak it until the green grass patch goes away. Okay, super simple.
Mages OP.
Mages OP. Anyone with movement. Boomkin's OP, Hunter's OP, all that good stuff OP.
Well, mages can blink over the line.
Yeah.
And stacks and stuff.
I wonder if AMS like it works over it.
I think it does.
Yes.
AMS will make you not take the damage, but you will still get the stacks based on testing. They might change that though.
Same with bubble.
Yeah, like you can immune it too, but you just don't take the damage, but you will get stacks. Your bubble ends, and you just get one shot if you do too much.
So this is the tank mechanic. They're showing it from mage POV, but this is actually the tank mechanic here, tanks. So when you get some circle on you, the one tank mechanic I'm sure that's in this fight, when you drop this tank mechanic, it stays on the ground forever. So you will drop it preferably on the edge away from everything. And worst case, we just work our way around the room, and then it stays there literally forever. I don't think range get this. I think this is just a different range mechanic. It's just a circle spawn.
I thought ranged also got.
Do they?
Yeah. Okay. No, maybe you're right.
I think I'm right, but I could also be wrong. So either way, it doesn't matter.
Bubble it and run into another circle with it, or will bubble in it drop it off?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what immunities do to it. It'd be worth testing on like the first pull or whatever. But after exploding, the tank gets inflorescence, a short buff that allows them to cross lines. Okay, when you get a, I don't know if it's a buff or a debuff or how it will look. It looks like little spring flowers. You can now walk through lines so you can get back to the boss, and this goes for a little different part as well. When we go into intermission. Okay, that's all you do for this part. It seems pretty simple. There's not much to it. And we go through it from there. Who's typing up the fucking storm? I can't figure out who it is. Oh, you're good. You're good. Okay. Tank gets hit hard and go kill ads. Okay, so tank don't die, but this is pretty much intermission, so there'll be 2 ads that spawn. You'll split your raid in 2. Same right here. Oh wait, this didn't exist, I don't. Maybe I just didn't. Oh no, I did do it. Here we go. Add groups, right? So there's a left group and a right group. People are split, and you try to match damage and everything. Think of this like the eye. You had to split your group in the eye, right? At least on Mythic, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so you'll get this green stuff on the ground, right? It means you can't take damage. Or the tank will get this, I think, drop it behind him. Let's see. I think that's how this looks.
The tank sort of
Yeah.
lines with his own movements.
Exactly, yeah. So you follow the lines, and then you don't take any damage from the lines. And then you just go kill ads. Don't get hit by a frontal cone. Don't get hit by swirlies on the ground. Break damage that healers will heal through. If the triad crosses a line, this is for tanks, or he takes massive damage, and damage taken doubles every time. So don't have this guy can't cross this line or this line. Okay.
Oh,
So you
I
can.
thought the ads didn't move.
It's just that usually the tank isn't moving. They
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they may have changed it as well. But that's it. It doesn't seem like there's It doesn't seem like there's very much to this guy, at least on heroic. I don't know what the changes for mythic, to be honest. But
the longer into the fight, the longer the fight goes on, the more lines that will appear throughout the fight. So.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Should be okay of a fight. It's like a better to sausage, I think. Maybe that's too early to say.
Dude, I like the sausage.
I hated that fight. Fuck you. But that's it. Anyone have any good questions about this one? It's a super simple one. It's kind of I just literally wrote "Don't be dumb." So when I write that, it pretty much means like it's pretty fucking simple.
The soak puddles.
Yeah.
That happened. You can have a bunch of people soak them and they disappear quicker. It probably won't matter in heroic, but in mythic, it's
cool.
There's more soak puddles the longer the fight goes on, and the more that are up, the more raid damage you take. So it can be helpful. If you see someone in one, don't just ignore it. If you can get in it as well, it'll go away.
Yeah, it looks like
a lot quicker.
It looks like even on heroic, there's this one. I don't know if they're 30, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, 6 up. Maybe there was another one over there. So there's still quite a few. At least having one person in does make it go smaller, though. At least in heroic. I don't know if that's the same for mythic.
Yeah, one person will make it go away eventually. But if you have 2 people or 3,
it goes faster. Good to know. So same as like the fire circles in Magmarax. More people you have in, the easier it soaks, right?
Yep.
Just because the stacks get split.
Yeah,
Probably not quite
every
that
one of
quick,
those
but
that's alive, the raid takes ticking damage.
Yeah, you just soak it.
Soaking them early is nice.
Yeah. Yep. And so that'll be something we look at closely. All right, second last boss. Well, third last boss of the raid. We don't know. I didn't put anything on the last boss. We'll do that on our own. So, the fuck is this guy again?
This is the Rashok of the new raid.
Yeah, this guy on testing absolutely fucked.
Oh, this was fun though.
Okay. I don't really remember what I even wrote for that. I feel like I didn't write that much. But this is where Rise expanded on my points. Okay, so Smolder on. Overheat. So these lines that come out from overheat always spawn in the same spot every single time from your body. Okay? They will spawn north, southwest, and southeast every single time. So when you're dropping these, you don't do what this guy just did, because that's fucking bad, right? You don't put your north through the whole raid, or any of your north, southwest, or southeast through the whole raids. So he should have turned like 45 degrees to his left, and that would have made a nice V and hit absolutely nobody, instead of doing whatever this was. This is a bad call, because he just hit this druid.
This is jailer fucking shit again.
Yeah, so you got to make sure that nothing goes through. It comes out from the same spot every time. Kind of like the puddles on...
It cannot be jailer from testing. It will pick a random direction. They were completely random when we tested it. It might have changed, but...
Oh, I heard it was consistent every time.
It was always like that. We didn't figure that out till after.
That's not the experience I have, but that might be different information. Then carry on.
We'll see. If it is random, then that really fucking sucks, right? But hopefully it's not, because it seems like you get a ton of them.
Based on that short clip, it looks like every single person that had a line coming out from their face. So I imagine that it would be the same every time.
Yeah, I heard it was the same, but that's okay. We'll figure it out first time we get there. Let's just assume it's from your face for now. Second one is just a big Rashok soak mechanic. Every player has to soak before intermission. All the players of the bomb need to soak with the tank to split the damage. There's a healing absorption. So literally Rashok. If you don't have a bomb, soak with the tank. So if you have a bomb, which is the little red circles, you don't soak, right? Because if you did, you would just kill everybody, because these probably pop right after. Oh, don't you love it, dude? It's so fun.
Blizzard still doesn't learn.
Don't stand in red circles. Heal people.
But the whole room's a red circle.
True. Don't stand in these red circles either. Also heal people.
What if the people are red?
Passive raid-wide damage, heal people. Okay, intermission. Same thing. Remember we talked about? I don't remember what boss. The Fire Tree Orb. Remember? So same sort of thing except these ones have. Oh, they did. I don't reach the boss. Oh no, I don't. Eating an orb. Oh, eating an orb gives you 20% damage and 10% healing buff for 20 seconds. Okay, so this is like intermission. This is a giga damage phase for you. What happens in this phase? These orbs spawn. They can, I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, they can spawn anywhere around the room and go to the boss. So they don't necessarily all come this wonderful line. The boss will make these fire circles at the same time. You can have a 5 stack of these orbs. You cannot get more than a 5 stack, and grabbing another orb does not refresh your stack. So you cannot get 5 stacks, wait 5 seconds, grab another orb, and have another 20-second refresh. It's just, I don't know if it's based on when, I guess when you pick up your first orb would be when your timer starts. I have no idea how many. Go on.
Sorry, they spawn where you're knocked back. So like, when he goes in the middle, he'll do a huge ass knockback, and whatever direction you get knocked back in, they'll spawn in the path that you got knocked back.
That's perfect.
They're personal orbs that you get from soaking the mechanic in phase 1.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so everyone has to do them. It's not like
Perfect.
1 or 2 people assigned. Everyone has.
Yeah, so you would grab your 5, and then you're done. Boom, 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 boom. You get 100% damage buff. You dump your damage into the boss. These cannot hit the boss. They give him supposedly only 1% damage increase, but obviously if you have 5 per player, 20 players, all 20 orbs, you have 100. No, wait. Yeah, that's a 100% damage increase, right? So don't do that.
You only see orbs as well, so.
Exactly. So you can't help people who are failing at that. Don't stand in fire circles around the room. This is like, what's that boss we all liked? In Before Dathia? That boss. Kurog, yeah. Like the Earth phase in Kurog. And that's it. And I believe, yeah, so you'll get a 100% damage bonus, so you'll probably lust during this. I don't have timers on when this is. So intermission lasts 30 seconds. I actually don't know if we'll end up heroing this. I know you get 100% damage increase, but there's a ton of movement. So I'm really not sure what the strat is with this one. We'll just hear about it and go. We can just do whatever we want for the first week, I'm sure. But yeah, that's it. And then you just go to P1 again, right? This fight is like just red on red dodge. And really the one thing I'm going to look at, or I will look at, I'm sure Raz will look at as well, is make sure nobody's doing this, because that's fucking bad, okay? I don't care where anyone spreads around the room, but don't hit the raid.
It's also like a room management type of thing too, like eventually you run out of space.
Yeah, so that would be like the softer rage rate from these little healing things. Do these spawn on players, or they ran it? No, it doesn't. Maybe? Yeah, they do spawn on players. Yeah, so it looks like it. This one spawned on him, this one also spawns directly on him.
You want to be near the edge, so you have time.
Yes, you can, but it sounds like you can bait it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So you'll try and bait in quadrants and.
At least according to the pineapple game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's probably correct. So you'll want to.
The next mechanic, the lava geysers, is the aerial denial. So it's the circles are baited on people, so you just like you said.
Oh, okay.
Be on the edge, and
Gotcha.
Stack, so they all come in the smallest amount of area.
Yeah, so you just stack on whatever this guy is, and then work your way around the room.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's not going to be huge on heroic past week 1, more than likely.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'll be massive.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be your damage check for. It's sort of like again, fire dog guy, or not dog, but Hydra, whatever. Magmarax.
Yeah, fire dog.
Fire dog. Yeah, close enough.
Hydras are dogs. Confirmed.
Hydras are dog confirmed. Yep. Doug knows, you know. Okay, and that's good. That's kind of it. This one shouldn't be too difficult, which is nice, I think. Don't know anything about Mythic, but
Sounds like an easy raid.
So far, so good, I think. So far, so good.
Shouldn't be too difficult.
Every fight will
No, I don't think so. I think Council's going to be horrendous. And I think Laradar is going to be horrendous on Mythic as well.
Mythic, the boss we just talked about, has some private aura shit, and it's horrendous.
Well, that's exciting to look forward to. So it looks like Wrecked is not playing this boss. Good to know. I'll make a note of that.
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay, the boss that is Zaduble's favorite boss, the flying boss. Fly. So this boss is Giga OP for Boomkins. So there's a mass-wide route that goes out. Think of this as sort of like, it reminds me of the chain mechanic from Sylvanas, except you're rooted instead of... Oh wait, no, there was a route. This was on Mythic second last boss of Razageth. What was it, guys?
Broodkeeper.
Brood.
Broodkeeper.
Was it Broodkeeper? Yeah, remember when she froze everyone in ice? You had to break them all out in intermission. At least it was on Mythic. I don't know if that was on Heroic. Same exact mechanic, right? You'll be able to break this by any removing ability. So disengage. Freedom. I don't know whatever else people have.
I don't remember if it's only Mythic.
I wonder if
I think it's on
Nemesis too.
Well, it may just be Mythic, but I think it's on Heroic too. You do not want to break your root. It spawns an ad. Oh, it's Mythic only? Okay, never mind.
Like if on Mythic, if you freedom yourself, it spawns an ad and it just does unhealable raid-wide damage and you die.
Oh,
So
interesting.
no one can break themselves out.
Okay, cool. So you'll just have more boomkins then.
You use the flying dragons to break
You use
them.
the dragons to kill them later on. The first
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
is just player damage.
Yeah.
So.
First set is with raid CDs.
Mhm.
The second, you can hold them for that.
First and third die to dragons is the second set that you have to kill with damage.
Yep.
That sounds right.
Just get out, dodge these, right? This is Sylvanas. Okay, this is the dispel mechanic that healers are going to have to manage for dispels, I think. It'll just be better if one healer can watch when we get there. And DPS will go and drop them sort of around the room like so. Probably make this exact formation would be my guess around the boss to make it nice and simple. Melee would go closer this way, range would go back this way. Go out, dispel. I don't even think you need to call for it. A healer should just be aware enough to be able to notice that. And yeah, and then we'll just yell at. I'll yell at you when you're just planted there doing damage instead of moving. Don't get hit by these. Okay. Supposedly happens twice in P1. This is a Moonkin form ability. Don't get hit by beams. What a horrendous mechanic for the camera. Sorry?
Yeah, this fight was really miserable. On
Yeah.
Wish
PTR.
they didn't go slow, then speed up.
Your frames are about to just
This fight looks
tank.
like a lot of fucking fun, honestly.
Tanks take turns with this soak. I believe. Okay, so I'm not really sure how this tank thing works. So this will be up to you guys to kind of figure it out.
You alternate choke it. One tank will get
1 and 3, and then the other tank will get 2 and 4. Yeah, I did write that in the doc somewhere, right here. Lyric gets 1, Jelly gets 2, Lyric gets 3. Okay.
And then on Mythic, one of the mushrooms is green and one of them's red. You have to get the exact same color, I believe, or you have to alternate kind of like different stacks like Rashok.
Oh, gotcha. That's neat. Something for tanks to do. I'm happy for you guys. I think that's a cool mechanic
Or
for
sad.
tank. Or sad if you just want to do what the Heroic one is.
I just want the loot.
I just want the loot. And then other than that, it's just debuff on each tank. This kind of sounds like what's the boss I always die to in Mythic? Experiments, right? Okay. This will be experiments, and that's it. And then don't know what Flame Surge is, but it says stay on the platform, so don't fall off, I guess. All right, intermission. Intermission. The boss will hit intermission. He's going to spawn these little feathers around. You will run and pick up a feather. Boom. And when you pick up a feather, you can mount, and you will fly, and you will dragon ride to the next platform, wherever the boss is. I assume we just follow the boss. While you're flying in the air, you cannot hit these red orbs, and you have to pick up these green orbs. Green orbs will give you, I think they give you vigor.
No, they give you that, but they also give the whole raid a damage.
A damage and healing buff. Yeah, 5% damage and 5% healing buff to the raid. And when you get to the next platform, boss from Castle Nathria that had a shield on him. It was the whole mechanic of it was the KT. Remember when you had to organize all your DPS CDs to hit the shield to make sure you killed it in time? Same exact mechanic. So the whole raid goes and flies through. You just grab as many as you can. I'm sure there'll be an optimal path eventually. Don't hit any red things. They damage and slow you.
Mythic, if you hit a red thing, everyone in your raid loses bigger, so...
Yeah, I mean, this will just... You just can't hit them, like, period.
Gold
So.
dragon racing medals in order to come.
Yeah, seriously. And then once you get here, there will be this shield. Okay? And same thing as KT. DPS the shield and it breaks before, and then, I don't know, is there an... Yeah. Oh, to interrupt him. You don't even have to interrupt. It looks like it auto-interrupts.
Oh, okay. You do not have to interrupt him. He auto.
So it's just a pure DPS race. You don't have to worry about interrupting.
You can't min-max it, so you just fucking send it.
Yeah, but you might have to min-max. I don't know. Does he phase based on timers, or does he phase based on percent in P1?
He phases based on percent.
Yeah, so then you could actually cheese timers for your CDs. Who knows?
Like you don't like min max the
Yeah.
killing of it for CDs because you still have the buff.
Yeah.
When you break the shield, it automatically interrupts. But on testing, people were even lusting it. Like that shield is fucking hard to break. It's not easy.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a tuning thing. We'll see what they tune it to, but if it is giga tight every single time, especially on Heroic, then you'll have to min-max. We'll have to min-max raid CDs around that, and figure out what the fuck we're doing. So I'll be assigning pots to one, heroes to another. The whole fight will probably come down to that specific mechanic. So pretty.
A bunch of evokers to use their shield popping ability.
Yeah, true. Oh no, warriors will be OP. Yeah, Shattering Throw does like a ridiculous amount of damage.
Shattering Throw does like 70k damage.
No. What's the one that does more than 500% to shields or something?
Yeah, Toda.
That is it. Yeah.
Start critting.
It does way more than that, dude. On Razageth, it popped off.
The shield on Razageth also had like a huge damage amp on it.
Yeah, well, you'll have a huge damage amp too from all the fight. You know what? I'm believing in the Heroic Throw or Shattering Throw, whatever it was. I'm a believer. Okay.
I mean, you'll run it.
Actually,
but it's not gonna
warriors are
one-shot
OP.
it.
You should bring all of the warriors.
That's right. P2, Stomp on Seeds. I think you take damage after you stomp. Stomping increases damage taken 50%. What will happen here? Maybe Bubble and Sprint through a fuck ton. Turtle and Sprint through a fuck ton would be my guess. Or everyone just takes a couple. Not sure. Either way, make sure they don't go off. Raid-wide root mechanic, which supposedly gets breaken by a dragon ability, which I still don't understand. But worst case...
only.
Oh, that's mythic only?
I can explain it if you need.
Well, if it's mythic, I don't really care.
That's fine.
Well, that'll be a way future topic for me anyway. So,
I understand, so I can prep it.
yeah, we can. Yeah. If you want to prep it for them, that's great. Other than that, same thing. You just bring Boomkins and make sure you disengage. Oh, look, this Shadow Priest got out. He's nuts. Same thing as P1. So the same mechanics still happen, except you introduce one new mechanic, and that were these seeds. Right? Very simple. You do P1 again with seeds. Right? Tanks, same tank mechanic. Intermission again. You fly through. You do the exact same thing. Now you're into P3. P3 is
phase 1 and phase 2.
Phase 1 and phase 2 together. But what did we lose? Oh, phase 1 had the stupid Boomkin beams, right?
The giant circles, yeah.
These things.
And the Dispel was in phase 1 too.
Oh yeah, that's right. So that's it. And then P1 and P2 together. And then it's a race. On Heroic, this seems like a fun fight, I think. It doesn't seem too bad. Who knows? I mean, tuning-wise, I don't know. Mechanically, seems okay. But we'll see. And then last boss, I have no idea. I'm not even prepping anything because it's all hearsay. We'll just find a video before Monday. We won't even probably try it. Well, maybe we'll do normal or something. But we won't really give it real attempts until Monday.
I'll have VODs and stuff clipped on Tuesday.
Yeah. Does anyone have questions about any fight that I went over, anything from here on in? Because we've been here longer than I've wanted to keep people already. Okay. Cool. So the one thing we're doing for a raid, I just want to talk about this just before I let everyone go, is how I'm going to be assessing people. So our roster is large. I can't speak for the Mad Lads how large your roster is. But the way we're going to be handling things is every fight you do is going to be really impactful in terms of what we're assessing. We have an idea of what we're going to be going into during fights, but to keep in mind, we're going to try to kill bosses as fast as possible, as quick as possible, and as efficiently as possible. So you want to come in and have a good showing. Things I'm going to look at are you using DRs, right? Are you using them at the same time every fight? Are you using your DPS CDs at good points during burn phases or when they're important? Sort of that sort of aspect. And I'll be doing that for all the fights for every player. If you're worried about how you're doing, or maybe not how you're doing, but if you're like, wow, how can I make sure that I'm doing really well or have a step above other people, right? We talked everything about personal notes from before. Where is it? So if you need to personal note yourself again, that's something I would recommend you do. And, right, maybe you're like Gnarl Root. Oh, I know I don't know where there's going to be damage. I can't even remember where there's going to be damage in a certain fight. Probably this big AoE soak, right? Oh, I know there's a big AoE soak here, 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 and here every minute, starting at 1:15. Just gonna plan something here, so I never forget. Right? Survival of the instincts. No, that's wrong. Survival of the fittest. Why is it backwards like that? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's correct. They're just not spaced.
I know, but why does it look like that?
X-axis.
This must need to be updated. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, I think the formatting's fucked up a little bit.
Yeah. Anyways, so this, who knows if this will even work, but this is something you guys can do for yourselves to get a leg up. That's something I'm really going to look for, because if one pull you're using Survival Instincts, Turtle, Survival Instincts, and the next pull you just have nothing, that's like a big red flag. Remember, every little min-max we do in terms of DR pushing outside. Again, fights where it's like, oh, I have to wait for big fiery circle on Naru to target me before I actually take damage. That's a little bit of a different one, because you can't pre-plan DRs like that, but you have to make sure you're using them when you get the mechanic. But on fights that are very scripted and DR heavy, you know, using it even when you think, well, I'm going to live either way, it doesn't matter. Less healing on you means more healing for other people, right? Or if that means less healing for you and more damage to the boss, because healers can do damage, same as every tier. Okay. I think I can speak on both groups that the leadership for both groups are super excited for this tier, and I think both groups are intending to make large strides. So if you guys have questions or anything in the meantime, come to either group, and we'll be more than happy to sit down and help you out and work through whatever you want to work through. Questions, concerns, comments, all that sort of stuff. All right? Cool.
Just reiterate the vault stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so if Mad Lads want to go, this is how we're doing 2-piece and 4-piece. I don't know how you guys are going to do it, so I don't know if the same applies to you. But how is the Pigeons doing 2-piece and 4-piece? Everyone gets 2-piece the first week. You'll get AOTC the first week, and you can catalyze something. Well, you could get 2-piece the first week. You shouldn't. You should hold your catalyze, and you will hold your vault until the raid reset. Okay? Then when the raid resets, you will have your pieces already that you have. You'll be able to take a piece out of the vault if it drops for you, and then you'll be able to choose the piece you need from your AOTC achievement, right? Because you don't want to be like, wow, I'm going to take the helm from my AOTC achievement, and then you open your vault and guess what's in your vault? Your helm, so now you have 2 sets of helms and still only a 3 set, right? That would feel giga bad.
It's important to take the tier from your vault compared to before, because there's going to be less tier.
Exactly.
Dropping.
Yes, so for a 30-man raid, there's a 1.5 tier piece per boss. So that means every time we kill a boss, we will get guaranteed 1 piece of tier, and there will be a 50% chance we get a second piece of tier. That is, I believe, someone can correct me wrong, literally a 50% decrease of tier dropping per boss. So all those vault pieces you get on that Tuesday reset will be very, very important. So we will hand out tokens to the best of our abilities for classes and prioing and all that in raid, and then it is important again for you to save your AOTC and to save it for your vault on the Tuesday. Okay, and you can really save your catalyze too, right? I guess then for the Tuesday as well.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you won't get a catalyst charge. You won't get a second catalyst charge until week 2 of the raid being out, week 3 of the patch.
So you're kind of just saving everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's just to guarantee your 4-piece quicker.
Now, are we doing loot the same way we did this past year? Are we doing like?
Yeah. So
we're doing like percent upgrades, linking our.
Yeah. So just tell me. Yeah. So in the personal channel, I'll have you guys link raid bots, and then when a piece drops, just tell me this. So the same options. BIS will be if it's your BIS you're never replacing. Major upgrade if it's an upgrade but it's not technically your BIS. If it's a catalyzed piece into your BIS, you put that in your note, right? This is BIS. This is for my catalyst piece. That's fine too. And then it'll be if it's tiered, it's like a catalyst piece. You don't need to put the percent. I don't really care. But if it's a trinket, you say this trinket is this upgrade for me, and it is a 8% DPS increase for me. All your raid bots will be, and I'll post this in personal channels, so it will probably just be like a 5-minute single target.
Also important to note, Zadubles, I don't think that was quite right on the catalyst charge because we don't currently have one charge from it.
Week 4 of the
We'll
patch,
get
yeah.
our first charge on Tuesday and then our second charge on the start of week 3 of the raid, week 4 of the patch.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
the
you start it
28th.
we get it tomorrow and then it's every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, you still won't use it next week anyway. Don't use it on the Tuesday, right? You'll have to wait another set of resets.
What if I can't run a Droptimizer?
No problem. I will be a great reference for you in your future endeavors.
No, I mean like my class doesn't support it.
Augavoker.
Oh, Augavoker, just
Well,
do
your
whatever the
trinkets are
fuck you
best,
want,
like-
dude.
like, you know
Yeah,
trinkets are best.
Soon,
that's fine.
The guy who did the AUG spec just uploaded an APL to the simulation craft like today.
Yeah, but you can't use it. It's just what he did.
I know. They did do it. It is coming in.
Yeah, don't worry too much about that, SD. I don't even know how you know. Like, just put that at your BIS, I guess, right? That's all you'll do. Because you won't know how much of an increase it is, right? Like, you'll have no fucking
He
idea.
has a list of how much damage it adds to the raid. But
That's so fucking... Yeah, I don't know. Just put it to your BIS. We only have 2 Evokers. You're both AUG, so we'll just play around that. And I know AUG is like super,
The way it is,
super
even after the
busted.
nerf,
so.
it's probably pretty high prio to give AUG's trinkets.
Yeah.
If it's your best, if it's actually your best one. So.
Yeah. So please don't lie. All right. This is an honor system. So that's why I'm making you post on your channel. If I start smelling things and things getting fishy, then I won't be happy. I'll be actually incredibly unhappy, and then I'll have to do something about it, which I don't want to do. So that's kind of it. All right, guys. So Wednesday's raid, we'll do Heroic first. I'm not sure about Mad Lads. Maybe you guys will do Heroic first too, and then go back from there and see where we go. Right?
Normal for tier and for working on Helm Enchant.
Or Helm Enchant. What?
If you're unaware of that, there is when you kill Gnarl Root, everyone will be able to pick up a quest. Every boss that you kill will give you 1 currency, so you can get 9 per week. After you get 50 of them, you will get a enchant that you can put on your helm. It's like 5k DPS per player, and it's BOP specifically, or like BOP. I mean, it's like you can't like trade it, you can't enchant other people's shit. So everyone needs to kill every boss every week for 5 weeks to get it.
When you say 9 per week, that is that normal?
Yeah, the
heroic
fifth
and mythic,
week
or
it
can
starts
you
dropping
wait
more.
for it as well?
If you
No,
kill it
you
on
kill
one
it-
difficulty, you're
one-
locked from getting it on another difficulty. So like even if
Correct.
you full cleared like LFR for it or whatever it is, then you can't just go into like Heroic and get another set of drops on it. It's going to be hard gated to week 5 of the raid, but they
As
are
long as-
significant enchants.
So if you don't kill for rack week 1, you'll just be a little bit behind, but you can get it by week 5, and it is a significant DPS increase.
There you go.
We're gonna
So-
try to normal per se.
Yeah, so same.
How does that actually work with the Helm Enchant then? Like, if you say you put it on a heroic piece and then you finally get a mythic, do you just buy it from a vendor again, or?
You know, you learn the pattern.
You just
Got
get
it.
it forever.
But you
Got
you can't enchant other people's shit. You can only enchant yours, which is kind of cringe. But I mean, that's just
Yeah.
is what it is.
So last thing as well, actually, why touch on that? So for us as well, I think I posted it in the Raid Docs channel. Did I? I did. I posted our WoW audit. So the main thing, same as last year, how do you get geared? You run Mythic Plus, right? Early. That will be giga important, and that'll be something we're tracking on everyone. And we will use people who run more Mythic Plus. Won't necessarily have a higher prio chance to get gear, but just because you're higher eye level because you do more content doesn't mean it's like, oh, you're no longer getting gear. Okay, so like we're not using Raid as a catch-up system for players. So make sure you're doing your Mythic Plus, because if we can be all sort of what happened last year, will be the same. Mythic Plus geared out by week 2 or week 3, then you're moving normal. Who knows how valuable trinkets will be. Heroics to Tuesdays, and then you're walking out. Well, we'll see, right? I just don't want to speak and say. Who knows? Maybe we skip for a little bit. It just changes every tier based on how long we do Heroic and Normal. But if I had to guess, it'll be Heroic and Normal the first 2 weeks. And then after that, Normal will be done for sure, depending on trinket value. Might be a skip. Might just be we're done with Heroic completely, and we're now locking out of Mythic. So doing those early.
Very strong in the raid.
Yeah, so we'll just have to feel it out. Worst case, it'll always be moved to Tuesday early in the tier, right? So I can run that. All groups are welcome. And then we'll just run it on a Tuesday, and we'll run that until everyone's sort of done with it.
If the point is to get gear from Heroic, is it not worthy just to get early farm mythic bosses done? Because, I mean, it's just max high level gear now, right? With the new progression system or whatever?
Yeah, it can be. It's sort of a double-edged sword based on where you want your drops for. It's not necessarily wasting time. It's like, okay, you need something off a super important weapon off the second last boss. Well, if you clear the first 3 in Mythic, or 2, whatever it is, if you take your first Mythic slot away and you've only killed 3 bosses, your first token's only off 3 bosses, you now have a less chance of getting your weapon off the last boss from Heroic. So depending where those super, and this will be different for every class and every spec, depending where those are, you'll actually gain value from doing Mythic, or you'll lose value from your weekly vault doing Mythic. All that will come down to tuning, and what we did last year, I believe, the first week was we were able to. We did all of AOTC for sure. Like we finished the last boss on Monday, and then we did, I think, the first 2. We did 2. We only got 2, right, on Mythic the first week. Can't remember. It was 2 or 3. It was one of the 2. I don't remember which.
I feel like that's. I mean, I see what you're saying, because like you eliminate your heroic vaults if you do mythic or whatever, but like, what are you gonna do? Just not do mythic forever? Like, I mean, eventually you're gonna be doing that anyway, and also you're gonna be replacing whatever you get on heroic, like period, from.
Oh, we
some
started
sort of
at a
mythic
much
boss
lower
eventually.
item level than last tier.
Yeah, and also the way that the eye level jumps per boss, like there's like pockets of 2 bosses or 3 bosses for each eye level jump. So like end boss heroic is very close to start of boss mythic eye level.
Oh,
So the jump is
yeah,
really
but it's
not.
all upgradable, isn't it? Like
with
the
your
mythic
yeah,
trap
but you're not gonna have
puts it up
crests
to
like,
480.
yeah.
Are we good to go? Are we done?
You're not gonna have crests.
Yeah, you guys can head out if you
You're
want for
getting
sure.
less crests this season. Like it's
Yeah, but you're still gonna have them though.
yeah. The
Like, if you
difference
get one
is
piece of
pretty
mythic
if you
loot,
do
then boom, that's what
18s,
you
yeah.
upgrade. Like
18s will drop the max crest. So